Oh yeah, that works. That works. We're already live though, so
Sweet, sweet.
All right, so Bret, before we get started, we are at Serious Play, obviously, and you can't see it, but we're in front of or behind this glamorous, gorgeous baseball bar type table. Didn't know what it was, and Bret explained it to me. But the cool part about it was, you can put your drinks on it, and that affects your gameplay. I'll talk about that later because this all goes about designing, and that's what your session was about. I mean, I've been wanting to talk to you for quite some time, and don't know why it took Serious Play to do it. We were supposed to be doing this a long time ago, but I'm so happy that you're here. Every time I see you, it's great. Your session was called, what was your session called?
My session was called Emotions Over Mechanics.
Yes.
And then semicolon, a whole bunch of other stuff that I don't even remember.
So, yeah, what I got out of it was, because I do apologize because I had to run and get something to eat because my blood sugar. But what I got out of it was really designing and understanding the games that you play, why you're playing it, doing the research behind it. And funny enough, this past year, that's what I started doing with all my console games. I started to really dig deep in thinking about why things are the way they are. Why am I strategically making these choices? I have this conversation with my son. I have this conversation with my daughter. They're both in their 20s. They move a little bit faster than I do. Some of the advice they tell me, you just got to go for it. I'm like, I can't do that because I guess my adult brain is more thinking real world, where I'm I've got to be careful, I've got to be strategic. And my kids are just go. You got to, we're talking about the horror genre because that's what we're into. You just got to just go in it. So, but I look at the design process of how both of my kids approach games. I have a daughter and a son, and they think very differently.
Yes.
But however, that has really started me thinking about when I play these games, what are some things that I'm looking at? Why are they built? Why are they built the way they're built? And this current Serious Play, I'm thinking about design. I'm an instructional designer, as you know. Not so much in the games. Well, yeah, sort of in the game space, but more of in education. But I've started looking at games from that way. How do I go about designing that process? As I'm talking with several people. Why is emotion in games, as you're designing games, so important?
I mean, emotions, in my opinion, are the crux of games. Games have this way of invoking, all the different types of media can invoke emotion, right? I can watch a movie and feel sad. I can read a book and feel joy. I can listen to music and invokes emotion. But games have the interactive element that can drive those emotions further than any of those other mediums. And so as game designers, a lot of times we get hung up on mechanics, right? We get hung up on, I want, horror genre is a perfect example. I want jump scares. I want them to use a flashlight and have limited vision. And those are mechanics. And we can talk about limited vision is great in a horror game. But what does it do? Why? Why would we choose limited vision in a horror game? It's because it scares the hell out of us, right? Not knowing, not being able to see everything invokes an emotion. And if we can understand that, and we can understand why to use different mechanics, as opposed to I don't know, it's a horror game. All horror games use flashlight mechanics. It's a whole different ballgame. And then you can start transcending those genres and say okay, this is not a horror game, but we do want to invoke a sense of fright or a sense of unknowing. I've played these other games that do that. What mechanics invoke that emotion? Oh, it's flashlights. Maybe in this platformer game that isn't inherently a horror game, but we want to invoke fright, we then start pulling those mechanics because we understand what mechanics cause. And the emotional tie to those mechanics, in my opinion, is more important than the mechanics itself. And that's really what that session was about, is playing these games for research. We have to play more games. Like, as a designer, you have to be playing games. If you're building these experiences, you have to play them.
Okay.
B, if you're playing them, you have to do a good job of taking the information that you get from them and storing it somewhere. And that's what, like, we talked about a template for doing that. We talked about the why, and we went over it. But that's really what the crux of that session was. Is like, how, as I play games, how can I absorb that game better?
Got it.
And be able to take that further. As a designer, how can I go back and go, okay, I've played a game that did what I'm trying to do. Let me go back to my notes and understand why it did that and how it did that.
So what does that look like? Like I've tried to fit that in somehow. So what does that look like if I'm wanting to play any game? Do I have to kind of have a different mental capacity? Because, like, there's a difference in playing games for fun and then playing games for research, even if it's the same type of game.
Yes.
So how do you, like, flip the switch? Like, if I'm playing, no matter what game, it could be Madden, it could be whatever it is that you're playing. We were just talking about EA earlier, so that's why I said that. How do you decide, okay, I'm coming to sit down to do this versus I'm coming to sit down and have joy in doing this? Especially when it's work, it's a game. As a game designer, like, how do you differentiate?
Yep. So I've gotten this question before, and the thing that I always think of whenever I'm asked this is like that like original Avengers movie, right? When Captain, I think it's Captain America, asks Hulk, like, how do you control it? Or I forget what he asked, but he just looks at him like with this like side eye, and he goes, "The secret is I'm always angry." And it's like, how do you get angry to become the Hulk? And that's the secret, is he's always angry. Once you flip that switch as a game designer, like, unfortunately, like, it's really hard to just go back. And it's not to say that you can't.
Okay.
Those two worlds can live together. Like, I can be researching a game and still enjoy a game. Like, because I'm researching it and playing it, there's zero reason why I should take the joy. Like, that doesn't have to be a non-joyful experience.
Right.
Like, when I play, like, I'm trying to think of like an example. Like, I've been playing a lot of Forza Horizon. Right?
Okay.
Like, the new Forza Horizon 6 came out. I've been playing a lot of that. I love that game. Like, I'm not building like a race car game anytime soon. Like, that's way out of my wheelhouse. I can play it and enjoy it and still, like, think about things critically. Like, think about, like, okay, it has, like, they call them wheel spins, but they're non-paid loot boxes, right? Like, basically, it's like, I earned this for completing a quest, I get to spin the wheel, and I get a free reward. I can think about that mechanic critically, and that doesn't mean it can't be, like, I can still have fun. I can still find joy. There's no reason that research play needs to differ from fun play. Like, it's all one and the same. And once you're a designer, that switch flips. Like, you no longer, I have a very hard time playing games and not thinking about them critically. Like, as a designer, I don't think I'll ever be able to play a game again and not think about it critically. But that doesn't mean that I can't have fun with it, that I can't enjoy it. I can play The Last of Us, Mass Effect, all those, and get the same joy that someone who's a non-designer gets. The difference is, I just think about it differently. Like, my wife's an author and does the same with books. Like, she'll read a book and constantly be like, I don't like the way that they did that sentence structure. And she'll like show me and I'll read it and be like, I'm not an author. I'm horrible at that. I'll be like, I don't know, seems fine to me. But it's because for me in writing, that switch hasn't flipped.
Right.
For people in games, they might not have flipped that switch yet, but as soon as you do, you're always thinking about things critically.
You know, and it's funny because you mentioned Last of Us too, and that's something that my daughter and I love now. I haven't really played the game like my daughter plays the game. She plays it hardcore, the highest.
Yeah.
And she's really good at it. One of the things that she broke down and told me, even my son too, is that it's almost like a therapy session when you go through and play it. She also said that I'm missing that part of it, but I like watching her play.
Mm-hmm.
She always asks, do you want to play? Like, no, I'm enjoying watching the aspect of what you're doing and the decisions that you're making, and I'm asking questions and we're laughing and kiki and aha. And then there is the show itself on Max.
Yep.
And that's another layer that we've made a commitment when Window was out. We made a commitment to say every Sunday we're going to watch this and talk about it and discuss it naturally. And she would ask me questions, and I looked at it from my education brain, and also the experience in the very beginning of it, where everybody just had to evacuate. And I said, this hits home, right? She goes, why? I said, number one, it happened. Evacuation has happened in our state, and when the movie came out. It's funny that you call the design process part of it, because I was looking to see every little intricate. Okay, what does Austin look like? What do those roads look like? I'm watching every and they did it, and that's where I stopped and I paused for a moment because I used the emotion. I felt something. She goes, well, what are you talking about that? I said, sweetie, you got to think about, you've never been in this situation before, but what it means to just pick up and leave. I said, stop and pause and look around our house. If something happens, what are you going to take with you, knowing that you still can't go anywhere? We were like even looking at our dogs, like, imagine we have no choice but to leave the dogs behind. That's not a choice. She was even going back to, I'm going all off, and I'm sorry.
No, this is great.
I was even going on off. I said, she asked about the time period. I said, sweetie, in that time period, you and your brother were little bitty babies. We went through something like this, whether it was like a hurricane or whatever. Imagine being stopped in traffic, but you can't go anywhere. Those people could not go anywhere. There's nowhere to go. So she asked, well, what happened when we did it? I said, we were caught in traffic. Imagine your mom and me carrying babies and putting them in a car. Our car had no AC, and we just couldn't go anywhere. The next place we could have gone was our neighbor's house. That was the closest we can go. I said, this is exactly is mirroring what happened, except for all the wild and crazy stuff. She goes, oh, I didn't even think about that. I'm like, that's why this hits home looking at this, because when there's nowhere, like, I had some emotional ties to it, not just from the game itself, because the game's like, okay, I get it, it's in Texas, so that's what's intriguing. Any game that has something that's Texas, I'll play. But then when they tied it into that what was real, I had to stop and pause. And then we would always have these deep discussions about, like, when Ellie got a tape, or when she asked questions about a plane. I'm like, I said, sweetie, can you imagine someone not knowing what a plane is and how you were able to go from city to city? She goes, I'd never thought about that. Can you imagine, let's say this is a piece of tech. By the time Ellie gets to, well, how old was she, 12, 13 or whatever? Yeah. It was 2009 or whatever. I said, there were still CDs back then. There were still, in your lifetime, you were exposed to tech. She wasn't. The world had shifted. And for people in my age, Pedro Pascal's age, to explain, this is what it was. All of that had been erased. And all those people know is what hits here now. And she had to process that. Everything we had to process all of it. So that's where the emotional part really triggered for me, because I'm like, okay, where are people getting the emotions behind all the games? And I want to ask this question though too, because you just based off of your emotions. How do you clarify, okay, you're in a game development team, so how do you justify one character's emotions or one scene's emotions versus something else? You'll say one thing in the room where I'm like, I see it like this. So how do you determine, as a game designer or a designer in general, what emotion you're going to go with?
Yeah, so that's one of the hardest parts. And we talked about it even in there. Last of Us is it's a very complex game.
It is.
With a lot of different emotions. And it has very, for lack of a better term, there are very triggering emotions in there. Your experience, I live in Salt Lake City, which also happens to get featured in Last of Us, one of the first games that got to show Salt Lake City, and I did the exact same thing, well, where's downtown? Where's this building? Where's this building? But I've never had to evacuate for a hurricane. I've never had to, we're in the middle of a desert. Like, we had a tornado once, and it blew people's minds. We're like, they said this would never happen. Like, we've been told about earthquakes because we live in the mountain range. So I don't have that experience. I don't have those triggers. So you're absolutely right. Like, the way that you experience things is completely different. And we did, like, our example in there was Asteroids. Like, Asteroids is an incredibly simple game. Like, you move, you shoot. Like, that's the crux of it. Yet, as we were going around the room, some players, like, love the challenge. Some people found it frustrating. Some people just, like, didn't want to participate because they were like, this is dumb, this is old school, I don't even like these games. Like, this is way before my time. Like, I don't care. Everyone's different. So the short answer is, like, you don't. Like, every single person can and will experience your game differently too. Like, just like you experience everyone else's games differently, everyone playing yours is different as well. And so we have to, as designers, wrap our heads around that and build mechanics that foster to all that. If you're trying to build a game that you want mass appeal, you build that game significantly differently than a game that has a very tailored audience. If I'm building a gamified training experience for nurses in ERs, like, I have a demographic. I can build personas, I can build empathy maps, I can go and do research to understand, like, pretty pinpointed, like, this is a game for this person, this is what they like, these are the emotional ties they have, this is what they do. If I'm building something like a Minecraft, is the example I use, Minecraft has 1,000 different ways to play that game. If I'm a creative, I play it way different than someone who's like an achiever, who's like, I'm going to see how many diamonds I can get, I'm going to see how far out in the world I can explore. Those two players are completely different from one another. And the emotional response to situations is completely different. If I'm a creative and I see a creeper, like, I'm running. Like, I don't want anything to do with that. Like, I just built a house. I don't want the creeper to blow me up. If I'm someone who enjoys those challenges, like, I'm specifically not building big bases because I want that stuff. Like, I want the challenge of, like, oh, you blew up my base? Well, I'm coming after you. And so as a designer, you try to get a feel for, like, not only what you feel in a game, what emotions you feel, but taking it further and saying, like, okay, if I do have a particular type of player I'm aiming for, you really got to put on your empathetic shoes and say, how does this person view that? Or how does this demographic, like your daughter, perfect example, like how a younger person views any given game is completely different than someone that's older. Like, I'm like you, like, I cannot, like, I play Last of Us on the easiest setting because I'm like, I want to enjoy the narrative, the mechanics. Like, I am not a person.
I got a job. I got to work.
Yes.
You know,
and it took me long enough on easy to do that. So, like, and so that's where it's completely different. Someone may play Last of Us because of that. Like, the challenge is cathartic. Like, just like you said, like, your daughter may view it as, like, there's something cathartic about the challenge and, like, walking in. I have to, like, focus so much of my mental capacity on this game that the rest of the world fades away. And my joy and my fun is that. My fun is the rest of the world melting away. For me, the fun of Last of Us was, like, hearing the story play out between Joel and Ellie and these different characters. It was less about the mechanics. Like, I don't love really, really hard games in particular. So the fun isn't the challenge to me. The fun is that narrative. And then getting to, like, my wife didn't play the game, but we watched the show, and getting to, like, talk to her about, like, oh, this is how the game is different than the show, and this character did this, and that narrative was the fun for me. So I mean, that's a really long-winded answer to the question, but, like, it's different. Everyone is different. And as you're doing research, you try to capture what you feel, but more importantly, if you're doing research for a specific thing you're building, try to put yourself into the shoes of those potential players. And so, like, okay, if I am building a game for people who love challenge, how would the person that loves challenge play The Last of Us? How would they play a game like a Mass Effect? Mass Effect can be played as a heavy RPG where you're into the dialogue, the choices, or it can be played as an action game. Like, Mass Effect can be played like, I don't care about talking to any NPC, I'm run and gun, like my way through planets, killing everything that moves. Two completely different play styles, same game. Emotional response, completely different between those two players.
Yeah. So your game comes out, you designed it, you've done all those things, but sometimes with audiences, there, you know how some of our audience can be. They said, "Oh, well, you missed the mark on this, like 100% or 75% or whatever." How do you, based off everything you said, though, how do you still justify like this is where we felt, this is what we want, this is how we decided to move forward? Like, how do you take those hits? Because as a designer, it's your baby. You've done what you're supposed to do, but then you get that feedback of, dude, y'all missed the mark on this, and y'all didn't think about this. So how do you? Have you ever gotten that though?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, we had a conversation right before this where the span that I worked at Electronic Arts was the span where they won worst company in the world for 2 straight years. So like, I've definitely had my share of criticism, and I work on the Sims team, and those forums, every single expansion pack, we'd get lit up for something. Like there'd be someone that'd be like, the barbecue that you guys added is absolute shit. Like it's garbage. I don't want to use it. But there were also people that loved it. And so when you talk about the like hitting the mark or not hitting the mark, this is where I love like putting on my different hats. Because I work in the game space, but like in a 9 to 5, like I work in the product design space. Like I'm a product manager by career. Like I build websites, I build products, I build apps, I build stuff that isn't inherently games to make money. And games become a hobby that are fun for me on the side. And I try to find the mix of, if I'm building a product, how can I use game mechanics to make it a better product?
Okay.
For the product, whether I hit the mark or not, this is where games could take a little bit from product design. Whether I hit the mark or not, I have KPIs. I have key performance indicators that are my source of truth. Whether I hit the mark or not is not a subjective context.
Right.
Whether I hit the mark is tied to a KPI. My KPI might be revenue. Did we make X amount of money? If we didn't,
that's real.
We missed the mark.
That's real.
If my KPI is growth, like we don't care about the money, we care about the number of users, and we want to grow the number of users. I have a very quantitative number to say whether I hit the mark. I don't have a troll on a forum that tells me my whatever I built is shit. There's always going to be that. There's always going to be that.
And that's what I'm talking about, because they're not paying you.
No. If my KPI is paying, you didn't pay anyway. Move on. Like my KPI is the people who pay, and I'm going to build the experience for the people who pay, because that's my KPI. Like my KPI is to get paid. So
facts.
So whatever it is, and so as a game designer, I think we lose that a lot. Like
it doesn't mean that you don't care though. At the same time.
No, absolutely
you have
not.
People
like
to answer to.
You take that feedback, because ultimately, like in games specifically, like most of the time, the KPI is enjoyment. The KPI is, did people enjoy our game? The debate is like when we get into like gamified experiences, like if you're building a simulation for rocket scientists, your KPI is like how many people completed the course and retained the information we needed them to retain.
This is what we needed them to do.
So whether they liked it or not, my KPI is, did you do it and did you retain the information?
Did you buy it?
Yeah. So it all comes back to that KPI is really what it boils down to. So you remove the noise and focus on what is important, and deciding those KPIs early, not because deciding them after the fact is dumb, because then you already have the data. It's like it's like the age-old problem of like problem solving. Like if I'm coming up with problems for the solution I already have, I'm doing it backwards. Like I should be building solutions to problems I have. Coming up with KPIs after I have my data, like, well, of course we hit all our KPIs. We have the data in front of us.
Right.
You've got to decide what are you building this for from the get-go, because that should inform every decision you have. If you're building this for Reddit forums to praise you and pour praise on you, like you better hope you get it right for trolls, because that's who's posting on Reddit forums. If you're building this to make money, then you should your KPIs should be monetary, and you should be designing specific mechanics. Like, that's where you get into, like, if your true KPI is making money, then, like, loot boxes have been proven to make money. Maybe you should add loot boxes. If your KPI is joy in your players, loot boxes have been proven to decrease joy. Like, people hate them because of those mechanics. Don't add loot boxes if that's your KPI.
Brett, I never thought about that too, because as I'm going through this, y'all can barely see me. Why
Get in here.
I never thought about that in the design process too. So I don't know if that is that something that, and I skipped out because I had to get something to eat. I apologize. Did you talk about that with the group in there? Because you were speaking facts in there too. You just spoke facts. Like, even if you're doing this for joy and passion, you have to have a main objective so you can follow it. And I'll be honest, and I've said this earlier today, like, I'm going through like my own kind of Google-ish design process when it comes to gaming for my own consulting company. And yes, I use AI for it, but the AI stopped me and said, wait a minute, before you get into all of this, we need to build a framework. I was like, damn, like, you need to go. It said, what we're going to do is we're going to build a Bible. You're going to have a character analysis. You're going to do this. You're going to do this. You're going to do this. It basically said, damn the game for a second. It really did. It didn't cuss, but it basically said, damn the game for a second. You got to go through this process first, and then we'll talk about how you want to design this. And I said, I never looked at it that way, because I kid you not, Brett, I wanted to, because of the conference, I was like, I want to do something really quick and just, throw it in there. And I knew it was going to be trash. I had no problem with that. But basically the chat said, it literally said, Brett, because of the way I know you work, you cannot go through this process and just put something out there. It literally said that.
You've trained your AI well.
I've trained it very well. Because it literally said, because I know the way you've built stuff and the frameworks that you built, this is no longer just a conference piece of paper. This is going to be part of how you consult. I said, oh, well, okay. Let's create the document. I can't go through all this right now. Let's do this part, and I'm going to go to bed. Okay, do this part. And it said, your next step is going to be this when we get back. I said, oh, okay. That's how my AI talks to me. It's no longer just spit stuff out. It's pushing me and challenging me. So when you said KPIs, and for educators, that's the same thing as objectives, same thing. There are certain benchmarks that you have to hit. And I know for people who aren't in these spaces, no matter if it's gaming, education, or whatever, what people don't realize is there are objectives and goals that you have to hit every single day. And you have to take some of that, I hate for us to say, you have to take some of that fun and passion that you have in order to hit the mark that you need to hit. So
sometimes,
but it doesn't take away from the passion that I love with games, because there are days where I just I'm gonna have to bring it back because I stream my games, but for a while I've had my console in another room. I want to be immersed in the space. I want the lights turned off. I want the headphones turned on, and I want to just play and understand what's going on in the game. Because there's, like, I'll just put it like with Resident Evil Requiem, there's certain noises that you can't hear unless you put on the headphones, and it freaks you out. And so that goes to that emotional part, that design part. I started really asking deeper questions as I'm playing, not just that game, but any of those games. Like, okay, well, why did this happen here? Why are we doing this here? Even I don't know if you know him or not, but Skylar Scarlett from Game Class. He's pushing me and challenging me to do some stuff, and I'm looking at games a different way, especially for financial literacy. I'm going, okay, so now I said, I don't know anything about financial literacy. I barely pay my bills. Sorry, I barely know. My wife does that. But like everything that you said just now and everything that you talked about in there, I never looked at it that way before I sit down and say I'm going to play, said game. And I really appreciate that you've gone through that process. You've been through so many different fields. What is it that you're doing right now?
So everything, and that's what I love about like the KPI conversation is I get to wear a lot of different hats, right? Like I have my game design hat because I spent 20 years as a game designer, traditional video game design. Like that's where I lived until I had a wife and kids and realized like I can't do this as a career anymore. Like my kids don't know me. I'm not making enough money to support my family.
Right.
And that's when I switched to software design. And
Gotcha.
it was right as the UX field, like UX was taking off. And I had some engineers, like some programmers from games, move over to software and like reach out to me and they're like, hey, like this UX field is just starting to take off. We think this is like you game designers have been doing this for 20 years.
Yeah.
It's new to software, but like making things fun and enjoyable and usable is this new field in software. You should come over and do this. And I did and got into UX, and from UX I've gone to product management, and that's where I live now. So when I talk about KPIs and that, that's the hat I put on now, is like I'm a product manager specifically for an e-commerce website. Like I product manage for an e-commerce website, mobile app, where we sell goods. Like what we do is sell goods, but I still like the experience doesn't change. Like I still approach things like if I'm researching another website or I'm researching a different company or I'm researching the way that if I go to one of our customers and do these site visits and like just observe them in their job, I'm still taking the same notes. Like this is what they love, this is what they hate. Yeah. And I can work that into those designs. Even though it's like process, people view it as like, well, it's just a website, whatever. Like just make it look and work like Amazon. Well, Amazon sucks. So why should I make it work and look like Amazon? Like, why should I build something that services my user? Like half of my users, if I ask them if they use Amazon, they're like, no, it's too complicated for me. Like there's too much stuff on there. Like we sell like Jansan supplies. So these are like janitors, restaurateurs, like people who like their 99% focus is running their business or keeping that business running.
Got it.
They want to get on and ordering their supplies is the least of their concerns. They don't want an Amazon where they can browse and let me compare this and this. No, I just need to get on and order toilet paper and get on the other 100 things I have to do.
Got it.
And so that's where like putting on these different hats and being able to say like, Bret the game designer thinks this, Bret the product manager thinks this. Like I have to do that a lot. Like KPIs, like you asked, like, did we talk about KPIs and stuff in there? No, absolutely not. That's my product manager hat speaking.
Right.
Here at Serious Play, like this is my game designer hat. Like the people here are game people. Like I talk game language. Like these are less product designers. We're building, they're all experiences. The thing I like to say is like, we should do less of the like, this is a game, this is a product, this is a service. They're all experiences. Whether it's a website that I buy toilet paper, whether it's the Last of Us video game that I play, whether it's a training simulator that I'm forced to use by my CEO at work, these are all experiences. These are all things that we experience throughout the day.
Yeah.
We shouldn't say, oh, games I experience different than software. Sure, we do. We do, but there's no reason why the website I use to order toilet paper can't invoke some of those same emotions as the I mean, obviously, like I don't want to like be terrified by the place where I buy my supplies.
Paper, like, oh
but there's other like if I play a game and I'm like that like inventory system was like really easy to use. How did I like? Why was it easy to use? I can take that back to the website and go like, okay, I organized my inventory really easy in this game. Yeah. How can I do that the same way with like a shopping cart or a shopping list on a website? Or how can I do this with a trading simulator? That's where the emotions come back into play. I'm not gonna give the janitor at an elementary school a game inventory system. I'm not going to make them deal with you're overburdened.
Right.
But I can say this inventory system made me feel joy. How can I use those same emotions and maybe the same layouts or the same wording and bring joy to the janitor that just wants to organize their supplies? It's no different. If I'm an RPG player organizing my bag of holding, it's no different than the janitor that's organizing their closet full of Jansan supplies. Find the emotions, and if you can tie those emotions together, an experience is an experience is an experience.
You know what? I'm feeling that right now with playing Death Stranding too. I'm making these decisions. I'm like, dang, this backpack is heavy. Like, I need to put some stuff down so I can get over here, but I digress. Here's the one last thing, because we've been talking for how long? Oh my gosh, like Has it been 30 minutes? Oh shit. This is the first time anybody has heard me cuss like this. You hit on something that was a real big nail on the head. And it was basically transferable skills of switching things around. You and I, no matter what spaces that we've been in under the gaming umbrella, we've seen it all, we've heard it all, we've been through it all with ed tech, gaming, and all those things. But now AI is this beast, and everybody's been in it to win it. But one of the things that I said is, if you ever have any questions about something like this, whether it's AI or something else, you need to talk to a gamer. I say, why? Because what you don't know is we've already been through all of this before y'all have even touched it. Not necessarily AI, but the fact that here is something new. We're already fussing and cussing about it. We're already figuring out where we're going to go. We're already figuring out what job we're going to do, all of these things. And now I think when it comes to AI, now people are now feeling that. I felt it when I was in the esports space too.
Yep.
Because I've already gone through all of that. I've gone through the drama and I've already gone through those things. And now I feel like the masses are now feeling what as gamers we felt. So last question from you. I say all that to say, like, what is your advice for people who are trying to figure out what the hell this AI is and how do I transition? What the hell am I supposed to do? Because I've said you need to talk to a gamer because we've been not necessarily through AI, but we've been through this.
Yep.
What is your advice?
I mean, it's hard, right? Like in technology, like we are living through, like I would argue for technology, we are living through the worst of times. Like people are being left.
Saying we're
like
living in our last days.
They are like people are being laid off. Game studios are closing. Like AI is like whether we want to admit it or not, AI is taking jobs. Like that's the crux of it. And we can sit back and say like it can or can't do my job. Like it doesn't really matter. At the C-suite level, the CEOs, the CIOs, the CFOs, the appearance to them is that an AI can take that job. And they're the ones who sign our checks. So whether we think it can or not is inconsequential because it is, they are making decisions to let people go for the sake of AI.
You're putting it on the people, and I'm not saying no. I'm saying that you're putting it on the people and not so much the software itself or the tech itself. From what I'm hearing from you,
yeah,
that's very interesting. Like that.
I mean, at some level, someone has to choose to write a check to an AI company or a check to an employee, right? At the bare, but like somebody is signing that check. Like, because AI isn't free.
Correct.
Like, we all pay, whether you're paying for tokens, a subscription, or whatever it is, you are making, at some level, somebody is making a conscious decision that I am choosing to pay this bill over this bill, right? So getting back to the question, this is where I was going with
I was feeling what you're saying.
So the thing you have to do as an employee is make sure that like you have those like non-transferable skill kind of things that like the AI has a really hard time doing. And not to say like this may come across in video form as like crude or something, but a lot of people view like art and engineering are fairly cut and dry. Obviously, like an amazing artist is an amazing artist. Like AI cannot replace that. An amazing programmer, I work with programmers that are like, can whip me up prototypes in seconds, and they're fantastic. That level, the senior level, is irreplaceable. Like it's very hard to replace that level with something like AI. But entry level, juniors, art, programming are quite honestly like fairly replaceable. The nice thing on the design side is a good designer, even entry level designers, understanding human emotions is like one of the things that AI, as of today, August 2026, AI is not particularly good at.
Correct.
Like they are not good at sitting in a room with another person, looking at facial cues, reading body language, understanding the nuances of language, and asking, like, I mean, just like you kind of said about yours, like asking those follow-up questions, saying like we, as a designer, we use the 5 whys, right? You tell me something, I say, that's really interesting. Tell me why. You tell me something else, like, oh, wow, I never thought of it that way. Tell me why you feel that way. I do that 5 times so I can get 5 layers deep before I give you the answer. AI is just going to give you the answer. Right. If I go and ask you, like, we talked about asteroids and that thing, like, if I go and ask AI, hey, tell me the mechanics that are used in asteroids. So they're like, asteroids is a game from 1970, it uses shooting, movement, it will not tell me how playing a game of asteroids makes me feel. You can ask it that, and it's going to go, based on Reddit forums I read, or the wiki or whatever, like, it makes people feel joy and pain, and blah, blah, blah. Those aren't real human emotions. You need to go and play asteroids to understand
and build that skill set.
And you need to understand it and be able to convey it to others. Like the AI, that's its problem, is it can go and see what people thought, felt, said, and regurgitate it to you.
Correct.
It can't fill that on its own, and it has a really hard time explaining it back to you. So of the disciplines that exist in at least gaming, and really in software too, like engineering at the very low level can be replaced. Art at the very low level can be replaced. Even like some of the, like, that's the problem with like the C-suite, is like running financials and doing analytics and stuff, like a CFO's job can kind of be replaced by AI. But the designers, the designers and understanding human emotion, understanding why humans do, think, feel, say what we do, is very hard to replace.
It is.
So,
it is.
I mean, that's my advice, is A, figure out the skills that AI can't use. B, I mean, the reason I didn't say this in the get-go, because everyone says it, is like, just find how to make it work for you and be one of the people that embraces it. Like, sure, that's true, but within 5 years, everyone's going to do that. That's like when we said, that's like you're about my age. Like, that's back when like we were children. They were like, learn to use computers, and you'll put yourself ahead. Everyone knows how to use computers.
To a degree, yeah,
like,
you're right.
Why would I, like, telling someone to learn to use AI is going to be the equivalent of telling them to learn to use computers?
Somebody said that in one of the sessions. They're like, we're at the point where we're going to be at the point where, like, you're not using this, why are you not using it?
Yes.
I have other people that are telling me, like, agentic is coming next, you better learn it. I have some people telling me that, it's not AI that's going to be next, it's going to be something else, you need to be ready. I'm like, damn. Yeah. So all that to say, I tell people, like, you need to always be upskilling in your transferable skills. Yes. You need to, now is the time, as an adult or as a young person or whatever, you have to always learn how to build your skill sets.
Yes.
You never stop learning.
That's lifelong learner. Being a lifelong learner is a skill that goes well beyond any industry, just be a lifelong learner.
And you have to be ready to pivot. You have to be ready to move. That's something, I think that's what's hitting everybody, is at least in our age group and maybe above. I can't speak for the data or research or whatever, but we don't know how to move. Yeah. My daughter, our kids' ages, we can say a lot. We can say a lot about them, but they're actually trained to move.
They're adaptable AF.
Yeah, they're going to be like, you know what, this job sucks, I'm going over here. Yep. And they're not waiting. They're not waiting on what the industry is saying. They're not waiting to be cut out, to be laid off. They're basically saying, you know what, okay, so this is not working for me, I'm going to go over here. Huh? I'm going to move here, I'm going to go here. I'm not waiting on anybody else. My daughter has even said, she's been in an interview, and I said, I have never said this, and I'm 47. They asked her, I said, this is one of the last questions. Well, we haven't talked in forever, and I'm keeping you. I'm so sorry.
I'm good, as long as you want.
She said she was in an interview. I prepped her for her interview, based off of what all I know. But the question they asked her was, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I said, okay, so what you say? She goes, well, I told them, I'm butchering her words, but I loved it because I said I'm going to use it. I have 3 different trajectories in 5 years that fits my needs. I said, what? And they were surprised. I said, if this doesn't work out, I have a plan to go here. If this doesn't work out, I'm going here.
It's a great answer.
If this doesn't work out, I'm going here. And I just looked at her and I said, I'm 47 years old, and I would have never said that because I've been trained to think one path.
Yep.
But what you just said was, I can't guarantee that I'm going to be with you for
6 months.
For 6 months. So I have a plan to go here. I have a plan to go here, and I have a plan to go here. Based off of my resume, based off of what my skills are. That yes, I helped her create and build, but she has a really really good resume. But based off of what my skill sets are, based off of this resume, I have a plan to go 3 directions. I said I'm using that shit. And yes, I said that.
I hate that question. Like whenever I've been asked it, I'm just like.
We're trained to think.
I don't know.
We're trained we're trained to think in one direction, and we're trained to please that one company. Oh, I see being the manager of for the corporation. I'm gonna go here, or here.
Yeah.
But it's all under she's music management. But it's all gonna be under music management and my creativity. I said, bet I'm gonna start using that.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great answer.
I'm learning so much from her, but I've kept you for so long. We're gonna have to have even more of a deeper conversation.
Anytime.
This has been a long time coming. I promise y'all, last question. Thoughts on what's been going on this conference? What's the pulse? What are you hearing?
A few different things. Like we've kind of talked about AI already, so I'll skim that. There's a lot of talk about that. Like, how can we everyone says embrace it and use it to your best. There's been a lot of talk about how. How are other people doing it? Where have they found success? Where are they not finding success? That's been a good theme. The bigger and better theme that I love coming out of Serious Play especially has been the talk of we're at a moment in time where it's partially a generational shift. Like those of us that our age grew up on games, and we're now becoming the stewards of work and everything, and the older generation, as we're now being called, are gamers. And so there's this shift where it's wild. There's this shift where it used to be viewed as negative, but the boomers are aging out, the Gen Xers are aging out, it's the millennials, the zennials, and everything after that that's kind of starting to take these leadership reins. And we're familiar with games, and there's this sense and this camaraderie of we here at this conference understand that play, that's the term that's been used over and over, and I love it. Play has the power to change the world. Yes. If we embrace it properly, play can change the world. And if we can incorporate play into everything we do,
that's what I've been
we can be the stewards of that. And that's what I love, because that has been my mantra for the last 10 years is hey, I think these things that we do in games can be used all over the place. Inventory management in an RPG is the same as a janitor organizing their closet. All of these things, we can use these mechanics, we can use these concepts wherever we go.
Yeah.
So it's incredibly refreshing to hear people say hey, if we can incorporate more play in our lives and the other, because we all understand that, but the rest of the world doesn't. And it's our job to do that.
Honor the purpose of play. And then I'm gonna end it with this. My daughter and I were talking to a security guard, and she was talking about job fulfillment, and the very quote that she said was, "I don't come to work, I come to play." And I said, "I'm done." She says, if the job doesn't fulfill me, if it doesn't make me happy, then I don't use it anymore. I don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm coming to fulfill my purpose. So I always say, I don't come to work, I come to play. And I was like, I'm done. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Bret, thank you so much for doing this.
No,
we have talked. I'm looking at my timer. Do you know we've talked for almost an hour?
That's nothing. We could go for another hour.
We could, but I know people are like, what are the hell they're talking about? I know there's 0 people on here, but it don't matter. We'll look at it later. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What are your next plans? As I'm turning this off, I will see you guys later. Take care. Oh my gosh. What's the next thing? I kept you from a session. I apologize.
I don't even think I had one marked after mine. Usually after mine, I don't mark anything specifically because I'm there's going to be people that want to ask questions afterwards. And,
Yeah.
like, I think what I had is the one that was in there, but then hearing him say, like, it's not going to be as interactive, I was like, okay, well, then no thanks.
Okay, you're really honest. Okay, I'm not mad for saying it. Okay.
So, yeah, so I don't even know, like, what time is it?
It is 4:40.
I was going to say, it seems like dead. I think it's just the sessions, but.
And I have not even been at my table at all, but that's okay.
So going like now, like we could have talked about this on camera too, but going back to your daughter's like, I go there to play. Are you familiar with the concept of ikigai?
Is that Japanese?
Yes.
My daughter might be. What is ikigai?
So it's this like concept in Japanese culture, at least as I understand it. I am no expert, but this quadrant of like finding joy, like it is the like finding joy in your life, and the way you do it is you like satisfy these 4 quadrants. These quadrants are what do I do well, what does the world need, what am I good at, and what can I get paid to do?
What's the difference in what I do well and what am I good at? What's the difference?
I mean, I would argue like I'm a good.
Like I'm good at time. Oh, like I'm good at tying my shoes, but that don't.
I hate it. Like project management is one of those things. Like over the years, as a product manager, I've had to do my fair share of project management where I'm keeping timelines. I hate it. I'm good at it. I absolutely hate it. I could make a living on project managers, make a lot of money, like, and the people need it. People need people to keep them on schedule, but I hate it. So that would be satisfying 3 of those, but I'd be missing the what do I love to do.
Yeah.
And so really, like, if you can find something that satisfies all 4 of those, that is finding true joy.
So I've been learning that, especially at this conference. There was a guy that has a table called Purpose University. I'm like, what is this? He goes, it's about we walk you through finding your purpose and finding your passion for whatever career you want to do. He walked me through it, gamified. I'm like, this is amazing. But another personal learning thing that I found too is like designing what works for me and what fuels me. Yeah. So I've been telling people throughout this, I was like, basically my 9-to-5 job funds my passion. And I said, that's how I have to look at it. And I said, the funny thing is that, and I know you can identify with this, is I'm not chasing the title anymore. Because I used to chase the title. Like, I want to be the management of da-da-da. I want to be the director of da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But now I'm like, you know what? It's not that important to me because I'm already, I said, I'm already the CEO of my own personal company. I'm not making money, but it fulfills my joy. It's what I like to do. I'm not worried about, if it comes to me, fine, I'll consider it, but it's no longer what I'm trying to push, because you said it yourself, like, you're not in these words, but because I was chasing all those titles, I missed out on what my family. Yeah. Like I missed out on a lot because I was trying to hustle and do it. I'm hustling now, but the perspective is a lot different. It's things I just won't tolerate anymore.
And it's bad. Like, is the title what brings you joy? Like, you've got to really start questioning that. Like, what joy is there in the title, or is it the the ability to make decisions, or is it the like freedom? Like,
it was the title. It was the money, because we were taught. I can't speak for you. That's why I'm saying you, but I can't speak for you. We were taught, you get the title, you get the money, you're able to have the house, the dog, the cat, the kids, all those things. So those are things that I was chasing. But then what happened was when those things got stripped away from me, when I was unemployed for 3 years, like, okay, I'm starting looking around going, well, I did all the right things. Even my friend that Keela talks about too. I did all the right things. I checked the box. But it still got pulled away from me. What happened? So now I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna chase. I'm even telling my daughter and my son now, like, you know what? Like, my daughter especially, she'll come. How old are your kids?
I've got a range from 10 to 22.
Okay, so the 20s. I tell people like I love now talking to my kids now that they're 20. They go, why? I said because they're not coming with all these little small petty conversations. They're coming with like they have work issues.
Yep.
They have friend dramas, and so they're asking for advice on like how you would handle it. And so for work stuff, I would say, you know what? Yeah, I see that coming. Nothing's changed. Your management is still bastard or a bitch, however you want to refer. She would come and tell me all this stuff like, okay, look, so I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but here's the situation. Here's what's going to happen. You think about this. She goes, oh. Last conversation I told her, because she's thinking about quitting Torrid and finding something else. Because she said she's not fulfilled anymore. She's been there for 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
She's not fulfilled. I said, all right. I said, sweetie, this is what you need to do. I said, it's going to suck. But number one, stop buying clothes from me. She goes, what? I'm like, just because it's 60 to 70% off for you doesn't mean you need it. That's a trap. I said, stop. Number two, lay out your clothes for the week. Hang them up 2 weeks, 1 or 2 weeks. And then when you get up, you just throw them on. I said, why do you think Mark Zuckerberg and all those other white people are so rich and they wear the same thing? Because that is not in their brain to figure out what they're going to wear. They wear a shirt and jeans and they make billions of dollars because they're not thinking about what I'm going to wear because that's too much in their brain. I said, sweetie, we think alike. If something is entering our brain, it's starting to be team too much. So she tried to go, yeah, I see it. I said, yep. So I said, don't ever be tempted. If you're trying to make that mental shift to leave, number one, don't show that you're trying to make that mental shift to leave because they'll see it. You go in, and this is what throws people off because it's happened to me. They can't pinpoint, like, well, you're doing what I don't know if this happened to you. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You're hitting on the marks. But there's something there that's really getting on my nerves, and I can't pinpoint it, but I can't let you go for it. So I got to figure something else out. But you're checking off all the other boxes, and I'm like, I'm coming to work. I say good morning. How are you doing? What do I have to do today? What goals I have to hit? Okay, got it. Boom, 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 boom. Anything else you need? Can you smile? What else do you need? And it throws them off. I said, that's exactly what you need to do. Go in and do the job.
We get paid to do the job.
Absolutely. You don't get paid to make friends.
No.
You don't get paid to be family.
This is a transactional relationship.
It's a transactional.
You pay me, I give you jobs. Do not ask.
Prostitutes are really good at that. I tell them.
Yeah. Yes.
Why do you think drug dealers and prostitutes are good at their job? It's transactional.
That's why it's the oldest profession. It's very clear. Like, I give you money, you give me service. Like,
right.
It's all transactional.
And I even told her, like, I used to tell her that, well, you know, here's my management help. Well, have you had a one-on-one with your boss? That's stupid CEO stuff. She tried it before. With this one, she goes, you know what? It's not worth it anymore. She goes, I already know what's going to come down the pipe. I did it. It gave me a lot of energy. So now what I'm going to do is exactly what you said. I'm going to do these things so I can prepare to transition out. I said, okay. I said, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. It's so fascinating to hear these kids in the working world, which is why I've transitioned also to talking about transferable skills and workforce development.
Yeah.
Because the 20-year-olds are asking, how do you do this? I'm dealing with said boss, I'm dealing with said organization. I was not prepared for this in school, neither were we, but like, we come in with wisdom that like, okay, so this is what they didn't tell you in school. Do this. Make sure you look at this. When you go to work, make sure you are there on time. She goes, yeah, Dad, they're tripping now because when they say be at work at 5 o'clock, I need to be there at 5 o'clock. And she goes, I'm there, but they don't want me back in the back room. They want me getting started. I said, oh yeah, they're micromanaging. Yeah. I said, that's what that is. I said, but the best advice that I learned was always be in an environment where you work. So if you come early, which I don't work at, that's you if you want to do that or not. A person at Starbucks taught me that when I was a barista there. I had so many jobs. I was a supervisor there, and one person came in. She was like 15, 20 minutes before her shift. I said, great. Girl, go ahead and clock in. Nope. I said, what are you telling me no for? I'm here to sit down, be immersed in the space, get my mind right, prepped, and then when it's time, I'm gonna clock in. I said, damn, that's smart.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Leave me alone. Don't talk to me. I'm just here.
When I walk in this door,
When I walk in this door, it's gonna be time for me to work. When I clock in, I'm ready to start.
Yeah.
When I put on that apron and go, okay, it's 4:59, 3, 2,
Yep.
1. Okay, I'm at work. I said that is the smartest thing I've ever heard. I'm gonna do that, and it saved me so much headache. Well, I work from home now, so it don't matter.
And that's, I was just gonna say that, like the whole COVID shift to work from home, like screwed that up for so like, and I blessing and a curse, like I had a remote job prior to COVID anyway, but basically all it did was like make it a 24/7, like my house is now my office, so I don't get to walk in the door and have a shut on, shut off, and finding those boundaries is significantly harder. Like even right now, like at this call, like literally before I went into the presentation, I'm like answering work questions on my phone. I took PTO. I used my PTO to come to this conference. Like I am not on the clock. I should not have to be answering questions. But if I don't, like no one's gonna answer them. They're gonna keep bugging me. Like,
I'm gonna push back on you. So what made you answer it though? Because this is what I'm learning now. I'm telling people when I'm gone, I'm gone. And I work my ass off before I leave. In fact, I had some reports that I had to do before I left. Now, technically, they're not due till the 10th. My PTO is all the way through there. I'm not working on my PTO. I'm not giving no reports. And so I was up till literally it was time for me to fly here to get everything done. Because I didn't want to touch anything. Because you can't, I'm not going to do work at the airport. I have a layover that's 10 hours, but I'm not going to do that then. But I'm finding that difficulty too, like trying to figure out those boundaries, which is why my Xbox and my Switch are in another room, because I've had to explain. I've had to explain that this is really cool.
Yeah, I've seen it. My kid loves baseball.
You can own that you like it too, Patrick.
Yeah, I do like it too, yeah. I forget where I've seen it. I saw that Kickstarter.
It's a beautiful game.
And what Bret told me, you can put your cups here, and that's a barrier, so when you hit it, it bounces off. That's why you have these little cup sections here.
Yeah, so I don't, like the designer did a
You just need to make sure though that you have like a lot of stuff in your drink so it doesn't knock it over.
Well, we were talking about that, like what if somebody had a plastic cup? What if somebody had a regular aluminum can of beer? What if somebody had a glass? Like everybody drinks something different. Everybody has something different, and that's going to affect how this game is played.
Yeah, that is weird that they're inside and not like outside.
No, and that's one of the things he said. He said, as we designed it, we realized it was a bar game, and like our first play test, like everyone was like doing this, like there's nowhere for me to put. And so we talked about that. Like we talked about like, do we put a rail here? But then they got thinking like, no, let's actually make like it's a bar game. Let's make the drinks part of the game. You know, saying like that's the like they specifically did this so that like as the dice play, like that drink can affect the gameplay. So like you may like someone may have their turn and you may move.
Hinder,
I'm just gonna move my drink from one to the other
And
because you
playing
usually
too.
flick it over that.
You're playing drunk and you have these barriers.
Functionality mixed with
It just
gameplay.
felt. I told you, it just felt so pretty to like. I don't know if I should put my cup here. Like, no, you're supposed to put your cup
No, I
in,
know
like,
the one looks real nice.
the nice finish and all that. Like,
I mean, for that price, I ain't putting any drink on this at all.
No, because I think you'll just play fast though, so that won't have time to cool up or you'll drink fast. Or
so
combination of both.
this isn't part of the school. Like he brought this here. Or?
Yeah, I mean he lives in North Carolina, so it wasn't like he like flew with them or anything.
Do you take it apart? I don't know.
So he was saying he sells it with and without the base. Like you can buy it without the caster base.
Oh, okay.
But he's like, you kind of need a heavy ass base because this is like a giant chunk of wood.
He has a QR code here on how to play.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like I saw earlier, like there was like an info sheet on this one earlier that had like They had like his company. It's the Unplugged Arcade is the company.
So is he making any? Does he make anything else, or it's just this?
Just this now. He has ideas, but he's like, we've got to get to revenue first.
KPI.
Yep. Yeah. You can't do idea 2, 3, 4.
Very true. That's something that I'm learning too. Like I want to do this, but I'm not learning to slow down.
Yep. Yeah. Interesting idea, but
It is. That's what I'm saying. Look at baseball. It's a baseball. Baseball diving.
yeah, like he like makes them himself. Like he has like a team now, but like they're all like made by hand in a workshop.
How much is this?
Like I think with the caster, he said like 1,500.
I thought it'd be more actually.
Yeah, like that's kind of what I thought. Is I'm like, well, an arcade cabinet is a couple thousand. Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't seem unreasonable for this.
I still like you doing that cheap. So that's cheap.
And that's he was talking about like he wants to make a like more consumer because these are like the in the bar version. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I want to make a more consumer friendly one that's more of a like board game that's like not wood. And he's like, we're targeting like 300 for that. Something about
That's what I was looking at. I was like,
wood, like it's a beautiful.
that's what I said. I was scared to put some stuff on it. It looks like you're not supposed to. Look like you're not supposed to play on it. And they have the die. The die there. Is there one for the red?
I don't like.
I didn't see it.
I don't know. I think you only need the 2 sets. So I think the red is just like an extra one.
And it just stays out there.
Yeah.
Out there.
As
Okay.
I understood it, like these are pretty much like you would switch. Like once it was my turn, I'd be like, okay, like now my team goes to the outfield.
Okay.
So I think you only need the 2 sets.
That's what my first piece. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna need somewhere to place all of them.
And I think that's I think they just left one out here to kind of show. But theoretically, you don't need that 3rd set.
It bothers me. I don't know why it just bothers me. Are you going to the event tonight?
I really thought about it. But the other part of me is just like, sometimes it's exhausting. I haven't looked up, like if you look up like how far it is from like here.
I haven't done anything. I'm telling you, like, my whole conference mindset has changed. I can't.
Where are you staying?
The Residence Inn.
Is it here?
Yeah, it's like 6 minutes away from here, driving.
I'm like I don't bring a car, and I'm like an hour walk. So I've been doing 2.5 miles in an hour.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Just because I can't when I looked up like the price of the places near, I was like, yeah, that's too much.
So okay, so I was gonna try to walk it last night, but I was like, I don't know where I am. I'm getting lost, so I can't. But you have it in your mind that I'm just gonna walk it.
I do, but I also love I bike for my lunch break for work. Like I usually hop on my stationary bike and do a 20-mile hike for lunch. So like coming to conferences like this is usually like a point. It becomes like a week where like all of my health goals go out the window, and so I realize okay, that's something that will at least keep me somewhat. And like the first day. I had grabbed a line scooter. I was like, this first day because I don't know where I'm going. I probably should have a scooter. I'm gonna be late for keynote, and so I did that and rode the scooter. But I walked home and then walked here. I'll probably because tomorrow I check out. I'm not staying the extra day, so I check out. So I'll have a full bag.
Yeah.
So I'll probably do an Uber or a Lyft here. So I don't have a full bag for an hour walk. And then obviously, when I leave here, I'll go straight to the airport and take a lift to the airport.
Yeah.
So really, it's only 3 round trips or so. It's not that bad.
What time is the flight?
Is it 6 something? 6:45.
-2.
Yeah, I set an alarm so I could check in.
孩子洗头，他今天早上就洗了，不然很想明天很晚，明天早上感觉很晚。
I'm not here. I'm deciding if I want to go or not. That's not me being antisocial. It's just me like I just want. I need to sit down somewhere.
It is me being antisocial.
Okay.
Like I don't like.
Oh, you're pushing me to tell me, yeah, be honest.
I'm not.
Antisocial.
I'm not.
It's okay. Be
I'm
okay
not
with that.
antisocial. I just have a really hard time in big. Like I can get one-on-one with you, and we can talk for hours.
Okay.
But like when I met with this, like here's a giant conference and there's 100 people and I don't know who to talk to, I'm just like
Too much.
super unappealing. Like the introvert in me is just like I don't know who to talk to, start a conversation.
You sound like me. You're introvert, but you don't act like it.
It's ambivert. You're an ambivert.
Okay, that's what that is.
Yep.
Because like I'm
You have
like,
a very distinct social battery, and like you have the introvert tendencies, but once you get going, like
I'm sure you've seen my videos where I'm like, so this. That I'm like, oh, that's okay.
sure don't
Like
then maybe you aren't an ambivert. It's an ambivert, like it would be less of a character and more of a like once I get in a comfortable space, I'm good to go. It's the uncomfortable space. Like I'm uncomfortable with it everyone. Me and you could sit and talk about anything you want for hours. Absolutely. Put me in a crowded bar with 100 people, and it's a giant thing where you're all just supposed to mingle. The word mingle to me alone is like, this is my worst fucking nightmare.
I didn't start getting like this until after COVID. It had nothing to do with the COVID part of it. I realized like I've been operating like this all this time. When I went back to the EST conference, I didn't realize that this is how we did things. Like I pushed back on like, okay, I have a session over here, but then I gotta walk all the way over here to go to this other session. I can't be doing that. That's too much. Of all this loud noise, all of this boom bam cheering, and like I said, I can't do that. This is why I like this conference because it's very people. I'm not saying it's exclusive. You can do whatever you want, but you notice how very quiet it is. It's integrated. Like if you blink this, you probably missed it, but that's okay because you can come back to it. It's not a big huge sign. The table is not a big huge sign. It's just it's a part of the campus culture, and that's what I like. I don't like. I'm starting to do like
Are you at science drive?
Like I don't even.
and I'm a gamer. I like all that stuff.
I don't even mind the noise and the busyness. It's the the expectations of like you should be talking, you should be
Okay, you need to go to like an instant conference or like a bet. I'm used to like, okay, you know, it's too much. It's a little much. Me and my friends that have been gone to it for years are like, you know what? I've had my fill. This is for the new generation. I wish y'all the best. Like now, if it's in my hometown, are you going? Yeah, I'll be there. I'm dropping and dropping back. You're doing what? I'm here for the day. I'm not doing all this. I'm not doing all this extra. So I will get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll be in the area. I'll register for a vendor pass. Why? Because I'm like this conference. Like I already know what this is. So I can look that up myself, or I can contact the people who are
almost
there.
everyone here has what they're talking about on a website. There's slides. Like I've openly told people like, hey, if you miss my session, like DM me. Like, I'll give you slides. I do not.
I just feel like this process though is very different because everybody's coming from a completely different angle.
Probably like
So, like I said, you have doctors, you have teachers, you have this, you have that. So every session is different, and they all present in a different way, and they all come from a different angle, but it's the same thing. So that's why I like this going to the city. We're all just having that intimate, close conversation. And I told his name is Dan. I said, Dan, like, have you ever been in this? So I said, okay, you gotta come in here. If you notice, the theme of this conference and the way it's always built is you can go home tonight and actually do something literally. Do you have Google? Yeah, they just presented something like Google, but they didn't talk about it. Do you have? Can you open up Unreal? Yeah. Right now. Unity? Right now. The create a tabletop game? You can literally do that right now. As far as I know, every session is not about getting a product. Because in theory, you kind of serve have the product has access to it. So that's why I like this system. I told Dan, I said, next time you come here, tell your principal it doesn't cost you any money to really buy anything here. You think about what is the purchase here? I mean, there was an extra booth in the hallway. I mean, but that's esports stuff. So yeah, but it's barely there. You buy it, you don't. Everything else is the tabletop stuff. I mean, come on, like your school or your organization is about playing sports to the tabletop. That's not going to break your heart. So, or you look at it and go, oh, I can create this. I just thought he gave me this. It's not gonna hurt. Oh, this card game? Oh yeah, we can do that. So that's why I love it. It's quiet. No vendors are not happy. Like I may talk about
No expo. They have like exposition games or like no expo.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right, like come look at me. Come look at my product.
And the booths, now they still cost, but the booths are cheaper now. I didn't have to pay for it. Yeah, the wings cost. But I don't think it's still an arm and a leg. Like in the conference, they cost like $4,000. Minimum, and you still have to pay for the chairs, you have to pay for the table.
Internet connection, that's $500 a day.
People didn't believe me when I told them, yeah, I'm like,
I would have do those conferences. Like, I go to tons of them.
they're like, are you serious? Yeah, you're paying for the space. You're paying for the network.
Yep. You're paying for those names.
Is it cheaper though, since you've been in that space a lot more? Is it cheaper to say, you know, we're just going to buy our own hotspot hub and just use that, or is that like a number?
It depends on Canon. Some conferences won't allow you.
Oh, okay.
And the hard part about conferences, most of them are giant concrete buildings, so they can't. Like a hotspot won't work.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can't get a good enough signal.
Yeah.
And others aren't. Like others do it like this, where it's like, yeah, we're doing the room. It mostly comes down to like, have you been there before, and do you know if you can or not?
Right.
Like Las Vegas is notorious for like in Las Vegas Convention Center, it is damn near impossible to get connection. And so they do exactly that. It's like 500 extra a day to have internet connection. So it's like, oh, you want something that can reach out to the internet? Like you're gonna have to pay for it. And we know that hotspots won't work, so we can charge whatever we want. But I mean, predominantly like most sales reps, like I'm not a sales rep, so I don't like, and I'm not in charge of like doing the booths. I'm usually there as research.
It's a lot. It's team too much.
Yeah, it is. But they'll usually know. They'll usually be like, oh, this is in Atlanta. We can totally just use a hotspot. Like we don't have to pay that fee. Or they'll know whether it's like worth it or not. If they know the audience, they may be like, oh, we don't need a hotspot because we don't need to show anything that needs online. Like we can build a deck and this audience will be fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know if your company's been talking about this. I gotta walk to the booth of my booth, but booth sizes are changing. Companies aren't paying that much anymore.
Really?
Yeah. The last ISTE conference, well, this past ISTE conference I went to, my friend asked, so what's the hall like? I'm like, it feels small. I can't pinpoint it, but I haven't been in a couple of years. But then somebody posted on LinkedIn about how small the center hall was because
You're not getting value. It's ROI, right?
yes.
Like if I'm paying $20,000 and I'm only getting $5,000 worth of leads, like I'm not doing that next year.
If you're lucky.
Like if the ROI isn't there, people aren't going to do it.
And the booth is like, I mean, I talk to some of my friends. I'm like, ooh, your booth is small. Like you're gonna call us out like that, friend. I'm like, ooh, I'm sorry. I'm used to seeing the big stuff, like you like CEW's booth is small.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you can find it, which is very different because people are
people aren't buying like that anymore, especially like you said with the layoffs and everything. And education,
Well,
you don't have no money.
nobody has money.
And
I mean, we talked about the choice between an employer and AI. Like, nobody has money.
That's so
Like,
scary.
everyone's.
That's so scary that you said that. And what I got really out of that was like, with AI, it's either me or you, and it's gonna be me. Because when you said at the end of the day, it's those CEOs that are making those decisions, I just thought, yeah, they're making decisions to keep myself or to let you go. I'm like, dang it. And they're like, I choose me. I may or may not take a pay cut. Oop, never mind, I got a raise, but I'm not gonna tell you that. I'm letting you go so I can stay here a couple of years longer. So I think it's not necessarily so much like the AI take, it's the survival people who are letting the AI do its job, but they're gonna try to keep it in this unit. We're making a decision of, okay, you're gonna stay, you're gonna go. We're gonna buy this software that you now have to learn how to use. Because at the end of the day, you gotta learn how to use it. But wait a minute, that's not my job description. It is now.
It just changed.
and I need that report by Tuesday afternoon. Well, I don't even know how to use it. Well, here are these classes that we expect for you to take. When am I supposed to take those? Because I have meetings. Well, do it after hours. Do it after what? But didn't you buy the AI? Didn't you buy the AI so it could do what it needs to do? Yeah, but we still need you to learn. That's ass backwards. And then what's the new trend now that they're finding out? Like, wait a minute, tokens. It costs this much? Yeah.
That's the shock value when you realize, like,
got it.
oh, we just burned through 30,000. Like, maybe we should have kept the $30,000 employee that was a junior developer.
They were so excited, like, what was the AI do? But wait a minute, it costs money. It costs money to buy this program? Not necessarily. It costs money for this to be constantly used and upkeep. Yes. So you can let go of Bret if you want to. That's fine. But who's going to make sure that this is kept up? And how often are you going to pay for it? Now people are like, maybe we should have just kept maybe it's 3 people.
It's swinging back. Like the pendulum.
I think
the pendulum is swinging back.
I think it's going to come back.
Now that AI companies are realizing, like, oh shit, we mispriced stuff to gain adoption. Because adoption was our KPI.
Yeah, it was high. It's the buzzword.
Yeah.
It's high.
Adoption was our KPI, and now we're realizing, like, oh shit, now we can't make enough money to keep our doors open.
Here's my thing, and I wish I would have said it to my time ago. I said, you know what, y'all? Even George Jetson and Fred Flintstone still went to work. All they did was go in and do this. But they still went to work.
Job.
And how many times did George Jetson get fired and still get his job back?
This evening, for some reason I thought I saw something at 6 o'clock.
There's that game crawl. That game, is it called Gamer Crawl?
Yeah, I think it's like a game crawl. I noticed it wasn't in, like last night's was in the schedule, but this one wasn't.
I heard about something at 6, but it's not in the schedule.
Check it out.
Like I never saw it in there. Like
Yeah,
they talked about it.
It was supposed to be yesterday. But then they changed it because they call thing like, yeah, it's too much going on. And so
I mean,
it was supposed to be today.
are you on the Discord? Like the Discord would. Like in the Brello.
Yeah, because I think I'm doing another interview with somebody.
And
But-
there's events and activities. Like list like Game Crawl Part 1.
Yep.
And list the
Yep.
like time and place.
These are where all the rooms are, man.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, but anyway, we recommend you recommend the Velvet has a place before.
Is that what it says? Go to the Velvet Hub and start drinking?
Game Crawl Part 2.
Oh.
And then it says Tuesday.
I mean, it's a 1 hour walk.
But if anybody wants to share an Uber, I'm cool with that. I probably got to go back to the hotel and not freshen up, just stare at the wall.
I don't even know if I'm going to
Dump off a
go.
bag is the biggest thing.
True. I don't even know if I'm going to go. I was just telling Brett, I'm like, ugh.
But
I'm so
believe me,
tired.
You don't have to go. I'm just. I'm not here tomorrow. I'm flying home in the morning. So
Okay.
I'm looking for something to do. All right. Let me text.
But you're also right. I probably could show up
Do
late.
you have Deb's phone number?
No.
Wait, you know what? I do have it because she sent me her resume at some point. I could just pull it off of that, but I will.
Ooh. I was gonna grab more coffee, but they took the coffee.
Wait, what room is she in?
It's also supposed to rain
See, that's the thing.
here in an hour.
I'm telling you, the best.
Yeah.
Last night I had no TV on. I was sitting quiet and just taking it all in, and I just laid down. I turned on some rain simulation, and I went to sleep. I think really that's just what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to.
I don't know if I really want to participate.
I'd have to, because I don't want to walk around with this.
Yeah.
I don't really want to like do a double lift.
Yeah.
The room to drop it and then back out.
And then come back and get. Yeah, I just don't know. If it was real talk, if it was already embedded here, I probably would stay.
Yeah. Yes. Or if it were like, is it downtown?
Oh, that's a good.
Because that's the other thing is like, I would almost rather like, is it down? I mean, how do you see what is downtown? I mean, it looks like it's probably like. I mean, I don't know. I've never been to North Carolina. So.
I've never been either, and
but it looks
from here.
From here.
Yeah, my AI is being stupid right now.
Drive is 14. And an important distinction is it's the opposite way of my hotel.
Oh.
So, if it were like, oh, well, at least I'm walking towards my hotel.
Okay.
And then I'd be like, yeah, maybe. But it's like, I'm an hour that way and then would be double the distance back. Or a lift, but like.
Yeah, it's just 2 miles from here. I just, is it on my way to? Is it on my way to?
It's east. But it does look like it's like headed downtown. And I do like a good arcade bar. But
I do too. But now I'm talking about that. I don't know if I want to deal with all that. It says, okay, the Velvet Hippo Bar Lounge is located less than a mile away from my hotel. Getting between the two locations takes roughly 5 minutes by car. Normal traffic conditions. I still don't know. I'll say this, maybe if it would have been like, all right, y'all, we're gonna end today at 2:00. See, I saw we're gonna end today at 2:00. If you're running this, you need to take some time to.
And go straight.
No, can't do that. I'm not my backpack.
And that's where part of me is just like, I'd rather just go downtown and explore downtown Durham myself.
Got you. Maybe it should have been last night, but then when they did that, when
But I mean,
That
last
fire-
night was something else.
It was
I didn't go
Fire
to.
Escape. It was great.
Was it?
Now he had technical difficulties, but when we went through it, I was so immersed in it. The guy, he's directed some part of Resident Evil Biohazard or something. I forget what his name is. And so he's just trying to get this out there. Out there. And, you know, you sit in the movie, you sit in the theater, you watch what's happening, but then like different apartments come up and you pull out your phone and you're engaging with people on your phone. Your phone rings and you're talking with somebody. I was like, oh, okay. It was really, really good. I said I was invested. The moment I got invested was when I was looking at the two girls in one of the apartments, and one of the girls just dragged and pushed her into the room. I'm like, okay, what's going on over there? Oh, never mind. They're doing something that I don't need to listen to. I said, got it. I will go to this next.
Okay.
I'm going to go to my booth. I'm just going to go. Thank you for talking.
Anytime.
It's because I've been meaning to do this for a long time. I might need to talk to you about doing some other game stuff. Where are the... Is this where I went before? Okay, so it is. Come on. Wait. I don't care. Am I going the right way? Oh, God.
Are you good?
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
But see, this is where... Crap. Oh, please tell me I didn't go right. Because I just saw arrows. God dog it. Okay. Um...
I know there's a way to. Okay, here we go. Oh, shit. Go this way. Okay, so we're going this way. My mom was saying if I go through the test, the other place. Damn. Whew.
Go down, go right back, right by there where that lady is.
So.
I got the only ones I care about. Did you?
Because you turn here. Okay, so here. Which up? Oh gosh. Why do I do this to myself?
Yeah, I figured. I'm very tired.
I know.
I'm too old for this.
He's a social butterfly, so I'm sure I'll find talking to someone.
Where the man with the little
Oh, should have looked at my since it's my fault. What?
Again? Oh my gosh. I'm actually. I just don't know, like, it bothers me. Because I've been trying to do this forever. I don't see it on here. All I see is. I'm not. This makes me unhappy because like all I see. Part of the team. I can't even get this one. I'm not able. All right. I'm just gonna let him know that honestly, I'm not able. Hey. Yeah. Yes. I'm sorry I was so late. How are you?
How are things going?
I'm tired. You look really cute.
Oh, thank you. That's so kind of you to say. That's exhausting.
Oh my gosh.
Cheers. Okay, that was you. So how you doing?
I'm doing really good. I'm living my best life right now. I don't know if I'm going anywhere tonight. I'm just really tired. Are you going to the?
I'll go. There'll be some dinner involved.
Oh crap.
Right?
Like dinner or like?
No. I'm sure wherever we go, there's gonna be food.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna have to worry about.
Okay. So this is. I'm looking at your cards. That's cute. This is. Well, first off, this is Play It Forward. What I'm doing for Paul is I'm going around doing live on the spot interviews, and so like my goal is like to look at things from an attendee perspective and a viewer's perspective. That's why I wanted to contact you because I wanted to do that live interview stuff with you, and so I'm doing that for him. And I've already made a couple videos already. We just go live and we just talk, nothing special, nothing fancy.
Amazing.
And then this one is just about my own services for Tinker Tech EDU. the one thing I messed up on, so I was like, you didn't put your name on. I'm like, oh crap, that's right. I did these at the last possible minute.
Right? I know, like
Yeah.
all of us. I feel like every single time it's always like, darn it.
Yeah, this one is just about my consulting business where I talk about how I can help support you in game design or instructional design, curriculum design, anything that you have questions, problems, or concerns with. I can help support because I've been in these spaces.
Yeah,
So
you've done this before.
I've been in it way too long, so I help people have those real honest conversations. I'm like, close the door, tell me what your goals are, what you want to do, and I can see how I can help drive that plan for you. Because some people just want to they need actual help. They just need to sit down and just go, okay, where do I go from here? Well, yeah, and come out with I help you come out with a plan and all those things.
Are you local?
I'm from Texas.
Are you Texas? Oh, where in Texas?
Houston.
Houston, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just talking to somebody from Houston. I forget who it was. It was Sarah. Sarah is from Houston. She's doing stuff with games related to human trafficking. Prevention of human trafficking. But yeah, it sounded like an interesting place to be building stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's busy. It's busy. This is my side hustle passion stuff. My 9 to 5. My 9 to 5 is I'm contracted with Intel to do AI implementation for K-12 schools.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's incredible though. Like that does not sound like a terrible day job.
No, it's not a terrible thing, but my passion is this.
It's game design.
Yeah, design and game design, tech, all of those things. That's where my heart is. Not to say my heart is not over there either, but like this is where I'm like.
When you're doing AI implementation, does that involve any kind of game design?
No, this is really what we're doing now is we're pushing the AI PCs into the classroom, and so we're talking about that intentional design, starting with the human in mind. What does that look like? How to protect that human thinking before you even putting any AI in place, and how that design process works. So what we're doing with our teachers is walking them through that process as they begin to plan.
Yeah.
What does that look like for them, and then what does it look like when they start implementing that into with their students, so they can empower their students to do projects with AI. So there's parts of Intel where you can do a project-based learning session, a project-based learning project with AI, but it's not all about like I'm using AI to do this. We're doing other projects. Like there's one person that Intel highlighted. Her name is Crystal. I forget her last name, but she's from Katy.
Okay.
And she helped design an app for the visually impaired.
Amazing.
So,
like haptic?
Huh?
A haptic?
Yeah, and she credited like that her educators and other people around her for getting that up and going, but she didn't credit the AI. It was like AI is the tool. I saw a need to grow somebody in my community because they couldn't be a part of like playing Wordle with us. So that's how all that got started.
That's
So
wonderful.
yeah.
That's really cool. I love that.
Yeah. So
All right. Well, I'm sad to say I'm flagging a little bit, so I think I gotta get some water or some coffee or something.
I hear you.
Do we need to chat about anything, or are we
No, I was just wanted to do.
say hi?
Well, no, I just wanted to see if you wanted to do if you were able to do like a on the spot live YouTube live interview.
Yes, of course, anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were available today or tomorrow. Are you leaving tomorrow?
We can do it right now if you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right? So, strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah. And I just want to take, girl, your session yesterday.
Thank you. You know, it's a hit or miss kind of thing. You know, I knew that there were going to be some people there that were going to be like, what is this?
Look at here. Like, I was yelling, screaming, hooping and hollering, and you felt very natural up there. Is that the first time you've ever done that type of style of keynote?
No, I've never done a keynote before. It's the first time I've ever.
I loved it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I really loved it. It was so interactive, and I took a lot out of it that night. Because I was Communities is my thing too.
Right? You know, I'm so glad to hear that. Like, that's why, you stress out over it. You're like, oh gosh, am I yelling into the void? Does anybody want this?
You had
I'm
girl,
glad to hear.
and you had some real revelations when it even came to like, hey, I'll just say it because you didn't say it, but I know you were going to say it. Like, even with MAGA, that's a community. I was like, damn, you're right.
It's a community.
And it's based off of play. Damn,
They're having
right.
a hell of a time.
They're having a grand old
They're
time.
having a grand old time tearing our world apart, right?
They
They're
love it.
loving it. Isn't it
It's
fun?
it's nothing but a game.
Nothing but a game for them.
It is,
Yeah,
and I was like, dang, she was right. And you're like, and they're doing it well. I'm like, yeah, they're doing it exceptionally
They're doing
well.
a great job.
It's not a heavy lift. All you gotta do is hate one type of thing and bring
And you're
everybody
in.
together.
And you're in, right?
I was like, that is the most clever thing in the world. And I like how you said, what is it? You said something like think backwards on how to do it.
Yeah.
I was like, you're absolutely right. And I really resonated with, like you were saying, even like marginalized communities